You're watching The Kate Fox Show. I'm Kate Fox, and today I am speaking with Heather Leiser.
Yes.
And Heather is a multifaceted young woman. And I guess we'll start with your day job.
Yeah.
You're a physician's assistant.
I am.
And you've been doing that for how long?
It's almost 3 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's flown by quite quickly. I've been at LIJ in New Hyde Park for all this time. I was a new grad right out of school at Hofstra. So I have not left home yet.
Which is, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a good thing. You have a continuity.
Exactly.
You know your deal. You know what you're, very cool. And you also, so you've been working a lot during this whole COVID thing.
Oh, yes. We had, it was quite the experience. I say to people that I don't remember much. It was such a blur. We worked more hours. We had so many patients, a much heavier patient load than we usually do. And the things that we saw obviously were very unfortunate, but I keep saying to people, and a lot of my coworkers will agree, that it was kind of a privilege to be the person. For instance, I have an 80-year-old patient whose family can't come into the hospital and they're not doing too well and they know they're dying. So the person that's holding their hand is going to be us and the nurses. So to be able to do that and provide them with that support was a memory I'll always have, as hard as it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
We on the outside don't think of that.
Well, you guys have a whole different perspective, which I don't even know what you guys are thinking out there.
We just thought it was crazy, and
Right.
we didn't know anything that was going on, and you were all not stuck. You were all stuck behind the walls, if you will, and just in masks and plastic and bodysuits. I don't know, calling it the right thing, but that's our perception, really. But we don't think about the fact that you actually are the one holding somebody's hand.
Yeah. And we're trying to make, and if someone was doing so poorly to a point where they needed to be intubated, meaning have the tube in their throat and be on a ventilator, that moment when we have their family on FaceTime holding up the iPad, that moment had always got me, because they may never see them again. The success rate on coming off a ventilator for COVID has been anywhere from 17 to 23% of a success rate.
Wow.
So yeah, that I think was very difficult, but we have learned so much from the beginning to this point. I'm just hoping moving forward, now that we're all taking certain precautions, I don't think that we're going to be experiencing what we just went through. We can't, because that was literally the worst. And moving forward, we know so much more. And now it can't be as bad as it was.
Right, because you have a little knowledge at least.
Of course. It just makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we have to be careful.
So things have calmed down at the hospital.
We went from being every single bed in the hospital was a COVID patient, to now it's one floor. Every single bed in the entire hospital. Every
single bed in the entire hospital.
Maybe there was Cohen's Children's that had some non-COVID patients, but in the adult side, I mean, for instance, my census, the amount of patients that my division covers on a normal day, maybe 250 to 300 patients, went from that to about almost 700 patients that we were covering as PAs or nurse practitioners, along with the hospitalists and attending physicians. So astronomical numbers, and now we're down to one floor again. So, and it's steadily, people are coming in steadily, but they're not as sick.
Right. Okay.
Not requiring as much oxygen, and of course there are going to be the cases where they're still going to the intensive care unit, but I mean, we're in a much better state now.
Do you think, and I don't know if this is something you would answer, but do you think this is because we know a little more? Do you think it's because people are more cautious, or maybe it sort of is playing out its course, sort of like the flu or whatever, maybe?
I think it's multifactorial. I think that unfortunately so many people got it. Some people have died from it, and some people have built up immunity. And the other portion is that we have been wearing masks. We've been completely isolated. I mean, is it playing out its course? I think it's premature to say that. I think we're going to have some ebb and flow throughout the next couple of years. And I'm hoping it just never spikes again to what it was. But it's definitely not just one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, well, we are glad that you are one of the people on the front lines, and we are glad that you are here smiling and beautiful.
Yeah, we all made
and,
it.
You know,
We made it
knock
through.
on wood. But, and okay, so you are a physician's assistant,
Mm-hmm.
you are a frontline worker, but you also have a beautiful voice.
So that's a little hobby. I mean, it's something that I've enjoyed doing over the years, singing. I think I started in high school in choir.
Okay.
And then as I got a little bit older, gained a little bit more confidence, you know, my mother loves seeing bands. So she developed some relationships with different people in different bands, and she would always push me to go sing with her friends, you know, had to go sing a little song up there. I'm like, Ma, come on, what do you mean? I'm trying to eat dinner here at a restaurant. And she's like, no, go up there. So before I know it, I'm singing with a live band at a restaurant because my mother made me. And now I enjoy it once in a while. It's not like I do it professionally. I've done a couple of weddings here or there, just like doing in the church.
Nice.
It's fun. It's great. It makes me feel so happy. And I love music from the 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up to today.
Me too.
I mean, I sing at a James all the time. Give me a microphone and a karaoke bar, I'll be up there.
All right. Karaoke bar. We'll take her.
Yeah.
And you actually sang at the hospital too, didn't you?
Oh,
there was
yeah.
a celebration thing, or am I remembering
It was
correctly?
a talent show for employees.
Oh, I got it all wrong.
So my coworkers, who some of them knew I sang, said, you absolutely have to sign up. I'm like, I'm really busy that day. We'll see. So I put my name in, and come 2 o'clock, they called my cell phone, like, you're up. So I walked outside, they handed me a microphone, I plugged in my phone, and I sang some Etta James.
Oh my, and I saw that video.
Yeah.
So that's how it went, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Here
it was,
you
and actually I had a presentation like a half hour before that I was giving. So it was a very hectic day, but yeah, I mean, now that I've gotten a little bit older and gained some more confidence and kind of just really enjoy it, anytime I have the chance, I'll go up and sing. Or in the shower, all the time. Ask my boyfriend.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's fantastic. I love it so much.
Wow. And then, okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to segue from, you know, medicine, singing, to Heather's very, very interesting hobby.
Oh, yes.
We'll be right back.
Hey people, what's going on? This is Brimstone.
This is Kim and Dragna.
This is Steve. This is Mr. Greer.
Of the Grindhouse Radio, and you're watching The Kate Fox Show.
That's right. Make sure you tune in on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
That's right. First day with the new mouth.
And we're back, and I am speaking again with Heather Leiser. And Heather, you have a very interesting hobby that, quite frankly, if those who are watching take a look at you, this, you know, lovely young woman, you know, sweet, and she is sweet. But what is your hobby that you have taken up?
I enjoy racing motorcycles, actually.
Racing motorcycles. And you've been doing that for how long?
This is my second year. So.
And again, we said this before, we were speaking a little before. I've seen clips of you racing. I can't believe it's your second year.
Well, so like I said, this does not come, I think this is more innate for me. My father was a professional drag racer years ago. I was in my mother's stomach when I was at the racetrack. She would start my dad's motorcycle up while she was pregnant. So this has been a lifetime of experiencing drag racing. And when I say drag racing, I mean at a track, and it's a quarter-mile strip from point A to point B, and your elapsed time from that is that's how we kind of see how fast we're going, and how fast you can go from point A to point B. So my whole life has been this, and I've been watching my dad since I was a little girl. So finally, I don't know, I think I was 29 last year, because I just hit my 30th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
That's right. Happy birthday. Okay. So.
It was an interesting one, that's for sure. Bit of a milestone there. So I said, you know what, Dad? I really want a motorcycle, and I really want to start racing. And he's like, as long as you're safe and we do this together, fine. So I got myself a motorcycle. I went to motorcycle school, and it came very naturally. I think a couple of weeks I was like, oh, this is no problem. This is fine. I got this.
All right, wait. I have to stop you for 1 second. Motorcycle school?
Yes, it's a 3-day thing. So it teaches you how to ride a motorcycle. It gets you the license. You take an online quiz, and then you walk out 3 days later with your license. And it was good because it teaches you how to turn safely, how to switch gears. And I've been driving stick for very long, so having that under my belt really helped, because it's basically the same thing except a little bit of a hand clutch rather than a foot clutch.
Right.
So I don't know. It came very quickly.
That's very okay. So you got you went to motorcycle school.
Yeah.
You got your bike, and then what'd you do?
Then I wanted to kick it up a little bit, and I said, Dad, you know, you haven't raced in years. It's been a while, and I really want to get into it. So I don't know, what do you say? Like, let's do this. So we went to the racetrack, and he taught me everything I needed to know. I remember my first pass down the track. I was the most nervous and scared I think I've ever been. And I'm saying in front of the Pope, okay? So I know fear.
That's scary, yeah.
And after that, I've been dreaming about it. I dream about it all the time. When I'm not at the track, I can't wait for the next time. During the winter was the most difficult time because there was no track. So just waiting for that first warm day in April or May when I can go with my dad, it was impossible to wait that long. So I started, and I started off in the 14-second range, you know, going a quarter mile in 14 seconds. I then practiced, and now I am in the 9-second range. So now my fastest time was 9.81 seconds, and I think I was going around 140 miles per hour. So
140 miles per hour.
It's really great. It's really great. So much fun.
140 miles per hour.
Some people think I'm a little nuts, but I love it.
That's great.
It's in my DNA. It's not even my fault. It's not even my fault that I love it so much.
All right, fair enough.
It's my dad's fault.
Okay, you have no responsibility. It's okay. It's cool.
It's fine.
So now, how often do you race?
Well, during the summer, we try to go every other weekend on a Sunday or Saturday, and we go all day. We leave at 8 o'clock and we come home at 6.
Okay, and now are these, I don't know how to phrase it now, are they casual competitions? Are they...
Good question. They're actually what we call test and tune, which means that you bring your vehicle to the track and you practice and you test and you tune. So I race against myself basically right now.
Okay.
And I just get my times faster and I perfect my racing ability. And Dad actually told me that by next year he wants me to enter a competition. So by next year, maybe I can win a couple trophies. Let's see. And I'm always the only girl at the track too, so that's another factor. I have people in the audience watching, and I'm, you know, only girl. I have a lot to prove in myself.
Oh, that's true. See, I'm thinking it on the other side. You know, you're the one figure, but that's right. You have to prove more then.
I mean, for me, I do. I put a lot of pressure on myself.
So next year you want to race
competitively.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes.
Now, are you going to do it as a team or do you do it individually? How does it work?
It's individually. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So I will race against someone next to me. It's usually 2 people at a time. And there's different types of races. So we'll see. I'm going to let my father choose what he wants me. I'm just going to do what he tells me and say, okay, you're going to race this weekend. I say, okay, Dad, no problem.
But now if they're different kind of races, what makes them different? Because what I'm envisioning is just, okay, here's the track, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the differentiation between?
So when people think about racing, usually it's here's person A, person B, and whoever gets to the finish line first wins. So that's called elimination racing.
Okay.
But actually more commonly in what I'm doing is called bracket racing. And you're basically racing, you dial in a certain time that you think. So if I think I'm going to get a 9.90 second race, that's what I'm going to dial in at. If I go faster than that, then I could potentially lose. Person next to me may be dialing at 8.60 seconds. So we're actually racing against each other, but we're dialing at different times. So I may be leaving after or sooner than this person. It gets really a little complicated. I still have trouble understanding it, but this is what bracket racing is.
So if you do better than the time that you dial in, you can lose.
As long as there's a certain interval time. It's like 9.90 seconds plus or minus 0.2 seconds, let's say.
Okay.
So it's in a certain bracket. Which is actually pretty wild when you think about it. Which means I have to do the exact same thing that I've been doing and basically predict my time. If I think I'm going faster, I'm jumping off the line and I think I'm going faster than 9.90 seconds, I gotta back off a little bit. So I haven't tried it yet. So next year we'll see how that goes.
Oh, now, are there other kinds, or are those the two basic kinds?
I think those are the two basic kinds: bracket racing and elimination racing. Basically, you have two people, they're racing against each other. Whoever gets to the finish line wins. But you also have to consider those two racers need to be racing the same type of vehicle and have the same modifications, or else it's not fair. You know, if I have a 1400cc bike and this person has an 800 to 1000cc bike, I mean, I'm obviously having more power. So I think that in order to race competitively as an elimination, you need to have the same kind of vehicle.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's professionals. Those are on TV. NHRA, National Hot Rod Association.
But NHRA, that's like, didn't you just mention?
I did, actually. So that is an association, and I just passed my NHRA license test. So I was able to be under 9.99 seconds to get a level 6 NHRA license. So it's basically saying that I can go as fast as I want, as long as I don't go faster than 7.50 seconds, because that's another level of licensure. So I don't think I'm going there anytime soon.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of rules and stuff.
There's so many. I'm still confused. That's why I ask my dad all the time, what am I doing?
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have another question. Do you maintain your bike?
I'm learning.
Okay.
Dad has been teaching me so much, and well, I learned that our clutch burned out this season, and I learned how to change that. There's so many things involved with motorcycles. I would need to read a manual, but I am learning.
Well, that's great. That's all you can do.
I wouldn't want to learn that. That's awesome. So.
Oh, you're kind of awesome too.
Oh no!
I have to say.
I'm a product of my environment. This is how I was raised. It's fine.
Would you ever give up medicine to race motorcycles?
It's been a dream of mine for a very long time. I would want to be a professional drag racer, of course. But I mean, I could do that on the weekends. I could still be a PA. I could do both.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Good. It'll be interesting.
So now, okay, so is there racing right now, or is it done?
Hopefully, if the weekend's good, Sunday we're going. And that might be the last one of the season. It's getting pretty cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it starts up in the spring, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to come see you sometime. Because,
oh, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh.
You would love it. You'd love
so
it.
Cool. I love to watch. I don't know. Maybe, no, I don't know if I ever would have, but I change my own oil and I drive a stick shift.
See?
So that's all
You're so good in my book. Every woman should know how to change a tire,
drive
stick. Oil, though, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, now the cars, they don't really lend themselves to changing it like me doing it. But I changed my own oil for years.
That's
my dad taught me how to crawl under there and do the pan and let it out. And
I love that.
You know, so it's, you know, but I agree. If you have to know what you're doing,
Well, yeah.
you know, instead, oh, I don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
Then you
so
shouldn't be
learn.
driving.
Yeah, because you're going to get stuck one day.
Right?
I
mean,
got so excited over my first flat. I got out of my car and I was like, yeah, I get to use my T-wrench. I was so excited. I changed it so fast. I was so excited.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's the attitude you need.
Yeah. It helps instead of getting frustrated.
Oh my, it's true. Now, is there anything else you would like to share about yourself that I didn't ask or that we don't know, or I don't know?
You know what? I don't know. I like to spend time with my family and my boyfriend, and I love animals. I like to play Texas Hold'em. I like to shoot pool, play ping pong. There's so many things. The list is endless.
All right, the Texas Hold'em and the pool. All right, that's very cool.
Yeah, anything that girls don't typically do, I like to challenge myself. Put it that way.
Well, because there should be no limits, right?
Right. I don't want to be limited to nails and makeup. No.
You're not, and we're.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, I want to say thank you for talking to us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I mean, check out her video. Well, we're going to intersperse some, but check out Heather. Look at what she does. She's you're a badass.
Thank you. That's such a compliment. Thank you so much.
Heather Leiser.
Thank you.
Hey, you know who I am. Now we know who you are. I want you to check out Kate Fox's interview with the multi-talented Joey Cat. He's into everything. He'll be in the new Soprano movie. He has his stuff coming out. I'm just saying, check it out.
Don't make us come over there.